Stock Talk. This is your host, Scott. Today is 12/31. We're going to be closing out the year today. Kind of coming to you kind of early in the morning, 10:06 a.m. right now from where I'm at. I want to do things a little different the last day of the year here. I'm actually going to try to squeeze in a trade on NVAX today, at least get it in today. I don't know whether we'll close it out today, but got a trade in right now on the IRA accounts at 101.1050, I believe it is. And I've got a trade in on the cash account at 109.50. So let's go ahead and go over to that right now. We'll take a look at that. And I'm going to be updating this during the day. If the trade comes in, we'll kind of update the videos. I'll come in here at different times. But right now, we're going to go take a look at NVAX here and see what that stock's doing this morning. You can see we're pretty red through the day here. We got U.S. Steel's the only red one we got right now. Market's down just a little bit, I believe. Yeah, it's still down 18 points. But let's take a look at NVAX, where it's at, where it's been the last few days. I've been trying to get in, but I haven't been able to. But today, it has hit a low of 112.51, today's range. So that did not get me, but this is right now where you can see we're in that 112 range. I've been trying to get in at 113.50, 110.50, and 107.50. That's what I've been doing all week. But today I decided just to go put them all down there. Usually buy 3 different lots. So usually what I did this time is I said, well, if we're going to get it today, let's just go ahead and put it all down there at the bottom shot, which is, or the middle shot, I'm sorry, at the 110.50. So instead of the 113.50, which we would have filled by now on that first lot, we're setting down at the 110.50 with all lots. Okay, and that would be better than we got in the other day. The other day we was in at 113.50 total. So we're going to watch it here, and as you can see, it's kind of come down, hit a little low here. You see the spike in the volume here, but we're running right around this 113 range. Now, what I want you to watch is this right up here. This is what I do during the day sometimes. I'll watch the battles for those different positions between the shorts and the longs. Here, you'll see it got up to that 113, but they're knocking it back down to below that. And what I look for is that 80 mark. When it gets past that 80 mark, as you can see here, they're already getting it down to 63. You saw the 63. What I watch is that 80 mark. Can they keep it down below that 80 mark? If they do, that means they're probably going to be able to get this thing down, if they want to, down below that next dollar level. All right, so let's just watch it for a minute. You see they've got it at the 63. I'm going to take me a drink of my coffee while we watch. But they've got it down to the 65 mark right now. And this is what I'll do during the day. I'll just watch it. I'll be sitting there with my phone watching the price. You see now we're back over that 80. So let's see if they can get to that 113 again and which direction they're going to go. All right, so they're 11 cents from the dollar mark. This is kind of the way I think in my head too when I'm watching it. Are they going to get to that? See, now here we are at the 80 mark. That's the key level right there. I start watching to see who's in control. So where's it going to go? Up above that to above the 13, or is it going to be able to get knocked back down below that 80 and down to the 50 mark and then the 40, and then you watch it. We'll have the same battle at the next dollar level. All right, so still it's a battle. They're still hanging in there at the 93 mark. So here it goes. All right, knocked it right out of that 80 range. And this is just what I do. I just sit here, especially with this one. This is the way I've traded this one all year long. And it's a battle still. There's still a battle going on whether they're going to let it go any lower. And this is the time of day that it usually gets knocked down to a low. Because right now it is 11:10 their time. They're going to be going to lunch, in another 30, 40 minutes. All right, so now it did crawled up above that 13 mark. So are the bulls in control now? Are they going to be able to hold it above there? You can see it. We're watching right here. Another thing I look at is the volume. We're already a quarter way through the volume. Are we a quarter way through the day? That's the question I ask myself. And we're, right now the volume is looking kind of normal. Nothing major. But there is a battle going on around that 113 mark. But sometimes when it finally gets past a point, it doesn't take much, and this thing will keep going. So that's why I'm down at that 110.50, and the 109.50. That's where I'm at. Normally, I would have bought some shares already on the prices I've been trying to get it at all week. But what I noticed is it has been staying above that price, but it really hadn't gone anywhere once it hit it as far as being able to get out of it. So here we are, we're watching. It's at 113, still trying to hold. All right, so what I want you to do is go ahead and watch that, and I'll jump back on here later on in another episode here, and we'll bring you up to date on that. I'm going to probably just put all these videos together, and we'll just put them all together, and I'll just post it all later on tonight. But just wanted to see how I make trades on something like NVAX. Go ahead and watch that 113 level, see if it can hold that. If not, it could get down to that 110.50 where I'm at. So I hope it does. And then we will unload that if we can get $2 or $3 a share on it today. But if not, we're pretty confident in that NVAX. So, all right. So I'll sign off for right now, but we will be jumping right back on here in another little segment here in just a little while. Thanks. Okay, guys, I'm back. It's only been about 15 minutes, but there's a pattern I'm seeing that I wanted to point out to you. Something else I'll look for. So let's go back over here to our chart on NVAX. As you can see here, the NVAX has not moved a whole lot, but it looks like to me, as I said that, you see, it looks like it's 113.50, maybe now resistance. I just saw it hit 113.60, but it looks like that 113.50 area, not necessarily that particular level, but see, it is getting a little bit above it, but it looks like this may be some resistance that's built up now. It used to be a support level, but so we got to see it get past that. I think it's going to keep going. But right now, see, every time it gets up there close, I'm seeing it drop from there. So that's something to watch now to see if it can get back through that 113.50 level and stay. It's still trying. It hasn't give up on it yet, but at one time that was the points where I was buying because it usually was some type of support level. So we're going to watch that. If it can't get past that, this thing may be on its way down again, which is it could go a lot lower than even the orders that we've got. So that 113.50, we're going to watch that, especially for the close today. Okay, but it is really hitting that right now and just not being able to get past it for long. I mean, it could get past it just a second, but not for long. But I did want to show you that. So we'll watch that just for a little while. You see now it's getting really close to it, but can it get through it? See how it knocked it down almost a quarter there? Now there it goes. Looks like to me the bears are in control right now. So yeah, 113.50. There it goes again, and then knock it back down again. That's the level right now. It looks like it's going to have a hard time getting through. But if it does, it could keep on going from there. But if it doesn't, we may have another pullback before they go to lunch, which is it's 11:30 now. So we're going to watch it for sure. 11:30 their time. It's only 10:25 my time. But this is usually where it gets, the knockdown of the day, and then it does get a pullback. Usually, why I always say the big boys have gone to lunch, but who knows? But it just seems like it doesn't have as much control. There it goes. It did get past the 13.50 there. Let's see if it can hold it. Let's see. Okay, that's good. Now the 80 is the mark I'm looking for now. All right, that 80 cent mark. Can it get above that? This may just be a little short-term thing. But I look for that 80, and once it goes that 80, it could be on to 114. There it comes back down. So it did get above it for a minute. Let's see if it's going to be able to stay above it. All right, that's looking good. 2 times it's got gone back down, but it has not gone below it. Watch that 80 mark. We're watching for that 80. There it is. It's above the 80. Okay, so now it's probably up to that 114 level. if you can bust that, then it may have already took its dip for the day. We'll find out here in a minute. But if it never gets to that 114, we're still going to be struggling with that 1350 mark. Okay, so it's easing its way back down to the 1350 mark again. Let's watch here. But this is, again, this is just what I do during the day. Sometimes I'll just be watching the stock, especially when I've got orders out there, to kind of just get an idea. Do I need to adjust my order level? It just depends how bad I want the stock. I mean, I'm not dying to buy this before the end of the year, because I do really believe it's going to pull back as there's no news. But like the other day, they had some news about the third test in the level 3 test, P3 test in the U.S., so that kept it up for a few more days. All right, so now we're struggling to get past the 80, but we're staying above the 50. There it goes. All right, well, let's see what it does here. See how long it can hold that. Or will it go back down to that 80 mark? Not a whole lot of interest when it hit that 14. If you noticed, it just kind of sat there, and the next move was down again. So whatever it's doing, it's not real strong at anything either way. It's just kind of floundering. So right now the level looks like 113.50 to 114. Just kind of floundering in that area. So all right, so now we're watching to see if it can hold the 80 mark again. So the answer to that was no for a second, but it can go right back. I like to watch how big it jumps. I mean, when it starts jumping a quarter at a time, that's usually when somebody's really doing some either buying or selling. These little pennies, that could be anything. The volume still 1.4 million. We're looking down here, so we've got a normal volume of 4 million. Here's the range today. 112.51 all the way down to 119. So 112.51. Notice it didn't hit the 50, it hit the 51 mark. I've talked about that in some of my other videos. All right, well, I'm gonna sign out again. I'll get right back on here in just a little while. I'll be watching. I don't want to sit here and eat your time up on this video, but I'll check back in with us later, and we'll see where we're at. But I did want to point out that level looked like it might be some resistance, but it did get through it okay. And so we'll see now if it's going to support it again. All right, so I'll jump back on here in a little while, and we'll talk to you later. Okay, guys, back on here, jumping back on. We're going to take a look at the NVAX stock, see where it's at now, see what it's doing. So let's jump over there and take a look. All right, so it has been able to hold the 1350 level, it looks like. But it is coming back down here. Let's take a look a little bit closer here. Let me pull that chart up and take a look here. All right, so what I'm seeing here is lower highs and so far lower lows. So the question is going to be on this low, when you can see it starting to pull back now. Is this low going to be lower than this low? So that's going to be the question. And the low for today right now is 112.51. So it looks like it's trying to pull back a little bit here. So the question that I have would be, is it going below that 112.51 closer towards our 110.50 buy mark? Okay. And I'm keeping an eye on this. And here's the reason why. You see, this is the 5-day chart, and this is the level it's been gotten to the last 5 days here, and it has been able to get above it, but now it looks like it's really struggling to get above it and stay above it. So we're going to watch that today, because you don't want to jump on something that's having lower highs and lower lows, because you don't have an opportunity hardly sometimes to get out, and you end up getting stuck. But you can see this one is now above the 114, so it's still hanging in there. This is where it's been getting to, 114.26, 114.28. So that would be a level I'd be checking right now, because it's trying to get up above it. It's still staying pretty solid against that, above the 113.50. So I would say that's still pretty good support there. So still support at 113.50 has not turned into the resistance level that we were talking about a while ago. So good support there. Good support there. So not a bad entry point if you think it may go up from there, but I'm not seeing a lot of action above that, except for on a downward slope. So that would concern me. But we'll watch it. All right, so we'll watch that one. We'll jump back on here in a little while. It's 11:16 my time, so we'll jump back on here. Maybe another 30 minutes or an hour. Okay? See you then. Okay, guys, we're back. It is 12:23 my time, 1:23 big boys time. So let's take a look and see what we're doing now. You can see we have got this thing dropping. NVAX is dropping. You can see the low earlier was, I think, 1261 or something like that. We've actually made another new low. Lower lows, lower highs right now. That's the trend. So that's hard to make money off of. Even if you get in, you got to time it just right. So definitely still got our orders out there. This is Thursday. Tomorrow's going to be the first. Of course, the market's closed tomorrow, so this is really our Friday. We're closing out the year. Not in a hurry to make a rush, but we're looking at 110.50. We'll start buying there if it gets to that point. May do that before the day's over with. You never know. This thing can turn on a dime, and we'll be there before you know it. So we got some at 110.50. We got some at 109.50 in the cash account. But again, we're in no big hurry. We got normal volume. This is half day mark just about. You're sitting at 2 million. I mean, it's actually going to be low volume if I had to guess for the day. People getting out of the office going to make plans for the new year, so I doubt there's going to be a whole lot of volume the rest of the day. But it also means it may not get driven down as far as we want it to today. But we are going to keep our orders out there at the 110.50 and the 109.50. But as you can see here, right here, this was at 12:36. That would be Eastern time there. And that's about the time the big boys went to lunch, at least. Might have been back here too, so depends what time they go. But you can see it wasn't able to do anything. So we're just watching it. 1284 now. Again, we're at the 80 mark, so we're going to see if it gets to the 13, and or is it going to stay below the 80 mark? And that's the things I look for here each time. As it goes down $1, I'm looking at that 80 mark to see where the battle is, who's winning. In my mind, if it stays above the 80 mark, the Bulls are winning. If it gets knocked below that, then the Bears are winning. So right now it looks like the Bulls are winning. They're staying above it pretty good here. Down 5% for the day, $6 on the thing here. So if you happen to buy, a few hundred shares and it gets back to the high of the day, it'd be a nice little trade. But it's not going to, I don't think. So, um, but here's the thing. I did want to talk about this a little bit since we're doing this today. Is I'm not trying to make a day trade necessarily. I'm just trying to get in at a good price. I'm not a day trader. Now, I will trade in a day if it happens to work out that way. But a couple of days, 3 days, a week, a month, whatever it takes, I just like to try to get in at good levels uh, based off a trend. And so, not trying to do a day trade. I'm just trying to get in at a good level. So I want to make that clear. I'm not a day trader. So with that in mind, we're going to watch it. 1279. It looks like it's still a battle there. Bears may be in control. I'd like to see it get down another $2.11, and maybe our order will fill. So, but we'll get it time. I just want to get back on here just to kind of touch base with you. I'll come back on maybe towards the end of the day, maybe the last hour. We'll take a look, see where we're at, and we'll check back with you around that time. So just hang in there. Just watch. This is what I do. This is how I watch them. I'm not watching it every second necessarily, but I usually got my phone close by, and I'm just watching, the levels. And I think that's a good level we're trying to get in at. I'll take that. I mean, it could go down from there, but I think that's a good level at that 110.50. All right. So we'll see you later on. I'll check back in a little bit later for the day closes out. Okay, ladies and gents, we are into the last hour here. And trading 204, my time 304, the big boys' time. So let's take a look. And let's see where we're at. All right, NVAX is dropping a little bit towards the end of the day here. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Let me pull that up. All right, so we are here at 163, and it did hit 111.50 a while ago. So that is $1 away from our spot. It has been trying to trend down, today being the Friday of the week, the last day of the year. Some folks may be taking profits. So we're going to just keep a close eye on it this last hour. We have 54 minutes to go. I won't keep you this whole 54 minutes, but we may jump back on here as it gets closer to close just to see if our orders filled or not. We're going to leave them out there. I feel like there's going to be some P3 data. Now here's the deal with that P3 data. It's got a high bar to meet. And that's going to be for the ones in UK and I think it's Australia somewhere. But it's got a high bar to meet. It's got, these other ones were 95% effective. So there's a very high bar out there. And that could be dangerous when you're holding stocks. But we're gonna try it. We're not loading up on it by any means, but we're buying a pretty good bit of shares. Usually I divide this into 3 lots. I'm doing it all in one lot at 110.50. So I will check back in with you right before close here, the last 10 minutes or so. We'll see where we're at, or if it gets close to that 110.50, I'll get it back on here as well. So, all right, so I'll check back with you in just a few minutes. All right, welcome back, folks. We've got about 12 minutes left in the market here. We did get below 111 there for a while. So let's go take a look and see where we're at now. Let's see here. Make sure this is refreshed. All right, so we're sitting at 111.15. It did get down here to 110.90 again. Our orders are sitting at 110.50. So at this point in time, it's 12 minutes to go. So you really got to decide here, what do you want to do? Do you want to get the shares while it's down this low? Or do you think it's going to go, down to that 110.50 the next day, which is going to be, I guess, Monday. So my thinking right now is end of the year, going to wait. I think I'm going to wait. I'm not going to buy unless it fills these orders. I'm not going to pull these orders. But we're going to just sit here and watch the rest of the day go. We've got 11 minutes. And we'll just see how it goes. It did get down again to 110.90, so you're only 40 cents away once it does that. But let's just watch it for the rest of the close here, and just kind of talk about it. Let's go while we're waiting on it to see what it's going to do here. Well, let's look at that 6-month chart again and see where we're at. Okay. All right. So we're right here, and you can see that line that goes straight across there. That has been, if you look at the middle of that chart, that's been a little hard to get through at times. It was a resistance level at one time. Now, if you look to the far right, you see it is more of a support level. Okay, so it is at a level of support right now. If it can hang in there, and it looks like it's doing pretty good because it does look like it's moving back from that 110.90. But and here we go. Watch it get to 80. If it gets to 80, that's a good sign. But we'll watch it. If it hits that 80 mark, that means there's a battle going on. There it is. So there it is, and they're fighting. The bulls are fighting, trying to keep this thing going up. And so this is what I do. I just kind of watch it. That 180 level is the one I really keep my eye on. And now it's back to the 173. So it is a battle right now between bulls and bears. I'd say the bulls have been getting the best of it. I mean, the bears have been getting the best of it today because it has been going on a steady decline. If we look at the one-day chart again, it's no doubt the bears are winning the battle. But they have, there's these little battles in between each dollar level that you can watch. Right now, the bears are trying to get it back down to 110, looks like. So, but this is just the way I do it. I sit here and watch. I got my orders out there. I already got a good idea of that level I wanted to get in, so I put that order out there. This morning after it settled down a little bit. I don't ever put orders in. I try not to until after about 10 o'clock our time. I like to watch this, and you miss a lot of chances that way, but you also can end up doing a better job of getting closer to the bottom sometimes. I like to watch it settle. I don't like to see this thing swinging all kinds of ways and try to guess at it. I like to see it just calm down a little bit. You got time to watch it. I mean, if you look at this thing today, it hasn't been from this point right here. It was pretty calm. It got up a little high, but it's doing okay. So it's still trying to fight to get to that 112. There's that 80. And back below it again. Watch the 80. All right. So we've got 8 minutes to drop $1.18. He can do it, believe me. This one can do it if any of them can. But check out the volume. It's kind of picked up a little bit towards the end of the day here. See? Kind of heavy in the morning. Now the volume's picking up a little bit towards the end of the day. These are your volumes right here. There's some other things you can look at too. Let me see if I can go ahead and do this while we're waiting for the close here. I'm pulling up a chart. Now this chart here, that's a 5-year chart. Let me put it on a 1-day chart. All right, see this is line. I was trying to do the candlestick type. Let's see if I can get that done. Yeah. But all right, these are not what's known as candlesticks. It shows the starting point in that interval. Right now, my interval is set to 1. All right, this is what I was trying to show you. All right, this is the support level down here right now in this area here. But you see these. This is like the beginning and the end of a price range for that interval, that 1 minute. All right, so this one went from, if you look over to your left here, it said it opened that minute at 1:11:40. The high of that minute was 1:11:88. The low of that minute was 1:11:40. So the low was right here. The high was up here at the top of this candlestick. Look, this looks like the wick, and that's the top of it. That's the high, and then it ends up closing right here. at this level here. Okay, so that's a 1 minute interval. Now you can see these candlesticks and kind of give you an idea of the support. But this is the one that's working on right now. See how it's moving up and down. This red one on the far right, it's moving up and down. That's that price level. Where is it closing? Where is it closing? All right, so it's red. It means it's trending down from where it opened, and it ended up closing at the very bottom of the candlestick. So now it's starting a new candlestick over to your right. Up, up, up. Right now it's green. It's a green one because it's higher than where it opened. We go to that one. Let me watch. We go to that one. See, now it's lower than where it opened. All right. But this is a 1 minute interval. And you can see how it's acting for this minute. All right, so that kind of gives you an idea. It's 111.61, so it doesn't look like we're going to make our 110.50 today. We only got 4 minutes left. We're going to just let it go. I'm not going to adjust those orders. We'll go. We won't do anything today. It doesn't look like. I mean, it'd take a real good run here in the last 4 minutes. I don't think it's going to get there. My buddy did get in at about 179, I think he said. So he did get in right around the bottom here, or where it's going to close anyway. But notice the candlesticks, they're just moving right along. Getting a little support right in that level there. But you can see if you start at the very far left of this chart, from 2:54 p.m., we've had a downward trend, and now we're trying to go back up. All right, so we're developing a higher high and a lower low. So that's a good sign when you see that. But it's got there before during the day, so we'll watch it close. All right, let's go back to the other view just to watch the price. I'm going to close here. Anybody want to take a wild guess at where it's going to close? We got 2 minutes. 2 minutes to go. I'm going to say it's going to be closer to 111 than it will be to 112. I could be wrong because it didn't have a little upward trend going there. So, but what we'll do Monday when the market opens, we will come and check this thing out and see how it's doing. We won't do anything till about 10 o'clock, 9:30. Just watch it and see how it goes. If it's a downward trend. The problem right now, it's such a downward trend. Even if you get in, it's hard to get out because it's still going down. You just gotta hope when you buy that that's close to the bottom, but a lot of times it's not. So the volume has picked up a little bit here towards the end of the day. If you look at the volume levels on the far right bottom corner of this chart, you can see the spikes in volume. And that's normal towards the end of the day. A lot of times people try to make trades. There's that 1160. We are in the last minute here. Definitely not going to get we were about 40 cents off today. But that's okay. It'll be here Monday. Of course, they could have some news come out during that period of time that could make it go crazy, one way or the other. All right, so it's trying to get down. Definitely the Bears are in charge, it looks like right now. Definitely have been all day. All right, it's 3 p.m. on my computer. So watch that time stop here. All right, looks like it's closed. Yep, 11:51. So it's actually closer to the 112 by 1 penny than I thought. So that's it. It has closed at 111.51, and we didn't get any shares today. But that's okay. We closed out the year again. Great year. We're going to be happy with that. Cash is on the sideline, happy with that. And what we'll do is we'll talk about, once I sit down and do some numbers and figures and figure out which top five were, maybe the bottom five, and maybe talk about how many times we've traded the ones we traded, and just kind of give you an idea of that kind of stuff that we did all year with our top five. But I hope you have a great new year. Be safe, stay out of trouble, and we'll check in with you later on, maybe Sunday night or so. All right. Have a great one. Thanks. Hey, if you haven't subscribed, please do that before the year's over with by clicking this button right over here. Thanks.